with a pulse oximeter. Next slide.
Next slide.
That's a pulse oximeter. You can attach to your hand and measure heart rate and oxygen concentration. But there's no easy way to measure the vitals, because EKGs exist, but they are bulky and expensive. And pulse oxes exist, but they can't store the data. No existing device provides easy access to past measurements until now. Okay.
So why does this matter? As you can see, this thing can be used for people in high adventure sports or just other high adventure things such as the Boy Scouts. Or in exercise for people who go running or athletes who do training. This can tell them if they're overexerting themselves before they go and drop and faint in the middle of the road. It can also, in the future, sync with your Fitbit to give a more comprehensive overview of your vital signs. Another important part of this is the health of the elderly, who often have heart troubles and they're kind of stuck in a hospital sitting by a machine. But this will grant them the independence. It'll alert them. So this will wake you up if you're doing that, or it can alert the authorities. And oftentimes, people go into shock, but they don't know it, such as if they suffer from an injury or stress. And this will also tell them that they're in shock, so they should stop before it causes any long-term damages.
So a solution to the problems outlined above and for the potential benefits is the Glovox, which Bella is currently wearing. It is a pulse oximeter that is connected to a Raspberry Pi. That Raspberry Pi is sending data to a server that's running on one of these computers. And that server, it allows people to see what their current vital signs are. It allows them to share that data. In fact, let's just stop talking about the website and actually go to the website. Click on the link. Once it loads, just click on it. All right. Just drag it on there.
Yeah, it's loading.
The website's not working, but we do have a website that allows you. Oh yeah. So yeah, we have a login page. It allows people to see charts of what their current vital signs are. It allows them to share their data securely in accordance with acts like HIPAA, which protect the security of patients and the like. All right, next slide.
Yeah, it's actually frozen with the link. So.
Okay. Well, despite technical difficulties, the next slide was potential applications, which Yichang on.
So we have a few. One of the features being that we will implement a feature where if any of your vitals for some reason goes too high or too low, it will notify the authorities and it will notify them where you are. This will be able to hold days worth of medical information, and yeah. Oh yeah, and it'll also, as mentioned before, when you go to shock, you don't notice it. So it'll alert you, so you'll know that you're something wrong with you, and it's customizable.
All right, good evening. My name is Hakeem Nabi.
My name is Ismail Rogers.
My name is Jalal Muhammad.
And my name is Kareem Muhammad.
And we're from the Elevated Places, and the name of our group is Teeth Tation. Teeth Tation. Okay, so the problem that we're gonna solve with our invention. So many children and teenagers do not brush their teeth properly simply because they either don't know how or they just they weren't taught correctly at a certain age. And then many adults, our second problem is many adults brush their teeth. They don't brush their teeth properly because they don't have enough time to do it, or they have a busy work schedule, or just sheer laziness.
Now, gum disease. As we all know, gum disease is not a good thing or a fun thing to have. As you all can see, which side of the teeth would you rather have? Of course, the clean side, because it is better. Now, research shows that across the world, 16 to 40% of all children of the ages 6 to 12 occur with gum diseases because they do not properly brush their teeth the correct way.
There's two types in total of gum diseases. The first one being periodontitis, which it affects your tissue in the gum, and it also affects the bone in your teeth, making it weaker and your structure for your teeth to be weak. And the next one is gingivitis, which is a sore around your gum. As you can see in the picture, it is red around the gum line and it causes severe pain.
Okay, so here you see we have statistics, which is it's the statistics based on a woman's hygiene level and a man's hygiene level. So as you can see, it says the percent who brush their teeth after every meal. As you can see down the line, the woman's statistics are higher and the males are lower. So as you can see, we have the statistics lined up. And
Okay, the name for our invention or prototype is the electrical mouth cleaner, or for short, the EMC. The EMC is a mouth guard or mouthpiece that has motors from your average electric toothbrush. It is supposed to capture parts of your mouth that people wouldn't normally think to clean, and naturally it's supposed to capture the tops and bottom of your mouth. Now, how this EMC is acquirable is you have to go to an orthodontist and get an x-ray. It's almost like getting braces or getting retainers. You have to get an x-ray, send it to the manufacturer that we are signed with, have them send it back to you as a custom order. Okay. The reason for this is we have to meet the requirements of all of our customers.
and we have a picture.
Now, the purpose of the EMC is one of the best purpose that we think is it can prevent upcoming cavities within your children. So, for an example, your children will eat candy before going to bed. They use the EMC to brush their teeth without them doing it themselves with their hands. They could use the EMC while doing other things. And another purpose is that the EMC is also portable, which makes it easier on yourself. For example, you can do other tasks and do other things when getting ready in the morning.
My name is David Terrence Murphy the Fort.
My name is Joshua Ashad Ali Alford.
And the idea we will be presenting to you all today is called Project Ambrosia.
All right, so as we begin this presentation, I want to start off with a quick little story about my friend Zoe. At the age of 12, my friend Zoe lost her twin in a track meet due to an unexpected death. He was running, and then all of a sudden he collapsed and dropped dead on the concrete. And no one could figure out what the issue was until they ran an autopsy. Of course, by then it was already too late. Now, why did I share this story?
What would have happened if there was a way to detect the health issues inside of the body?
And this isn't the only instance in which somebody has died due to non-traumatic causes. It was stated inside a report in 2013 that stated that approximately 12 child athletes die every year as a result of internal issues and non-external forces. In addition to that, in addition to that, although we have excellent services such as Hilo and Fitbit, there's one thing that we offer that they cannot offer, and that is the calculation of blood circulation and blood flow, and being able to send sound waves throughout the body to detect for any blood clots. In addition to that, our system is specifically designed for coaches, pediatricians, and parents whose children are inside of any kind of sport.
This device tracks their physical activity and also anything that could potentially be going on inside their body during the game. Now, what's going on outside of the field? The parents get an automatic report every single day showing the report of the activity of their child's body during that day. The alerts come in when, like, a pediatrician and parents both get alerted if there's like a slight like hydration within the child, or there could be something going on potentially, that could cause an issue. That's when alerts are automatically sent to parents and pediatricians. 911 is automatically connected, provided that your 911 is automatically contacted, provided that your GPS is turned on. If there's a severe issue going on within your body. Okay. This is the bird's eye view. This is basically what the coaches see when they first log into the database. They see the percentage of they see how many players have their GPS turned on. They see how many players are dealing with critical issues, or how many people they need to look out for, and how many people are just doing period great. Next slide. This right here is an individual dashboard, and it shows blood pressure, hydration level, blood sugars, etc. For each player, and each color represents a little something different. And it represents, of course, red means critical, green means good, and any other colors, they just, mean certain things for them, the coaches, to be looking out for.
Good evening, everyone. We have turned an innovation into a product. We have brought you AeroMap, which is crowdsourced air quality mapping for everyday living. Now, 3 problems that we identified with the current state of air quality mapping are first, that air pollutants can be avoided given the correct information. I'll give you a statistic. Over 2 million people a year die when exposed to particulate emissions from tailpipes and factory stacks. Next, this information is not, can you go back? This information is not even available in many parts of the world through official channels. And even if information for air quality is available, news sources give air quality for cities as a whole. Next. Now, inspirations for our innovation come from websites such as gasbuddy.com, which gives you the cheapest gas in your vicinity via the help of crowdsourcing. And with the recent tragedies such as Hurricane Harvey, we looked to websites such as Texas Rescue Map and Crowdsource Rescue, in which Houstonians' ingenuity was used to crowdsource locations of water rescues and houses to be mucked. 3 things we identified to cover using crowdsourcing are first, pollutants, allergens, and something that could be tied into that, allergens. Now, what we see to link pollutants and allergens to events is that suppose you're planning to run the Houston Marathon, you need to know if you'd have to take Claritin in the morning. Pollutants that we're covering 6 pollutants in our platform, 3 different allergens, and 2 different types of events. Now, our entire model is to turn the quantitative into qualitative data. So instead of measuring ozone and particulates in parts per million, we're using the user's 5 senses to subjectively discern whether there's a high or low amount of certain allergens and pollutants. Next, the biggest innovation we make is to localize data using the user senses. As I said earlier, instead of having generalized data for an entire metropolitan area, hell, Houston is 100 miles across, that wouldn't make any sense. We choose to localize data using crowdsourcing. So you know what's going on around you right when you check it. And next, we create an informative platform for promoting health and mitigating the negative effects of pollutants and allergens. Next. An example for symptoms would be ozone, which you can discern very clearly.
Okay, can you switch to the website? So here we have our pollutant map. So we're tracking 6 different pollutants. Can't actually read that, but water, gas, air, soil. So you can choose an individual pollutant that we're tracking, and you can get the individual map for that pollutant in the Houston area. So this is trash. You can create our own report for a trash in some place in Houston. So you can choose the severity of that between 0 and 5. Choose the location in Houston where the trash is, and that's all you have to do, and you can create a new report in the Houston area. And as you see, there is a new report here for trash in Sugarland area. So different people can crowdsource, and the more people are doing it, the more relevant the data becomes. So we also track allergies, and so we have 3 right here using APIs. We also track health events such as marathons and seminars. So all this data we get, we can use using notifications. We track 15 different variables, including pollutants, allergies, events, and the location itself. So say you want to know all about the mort in Sugarland, you can set that as a notification, and you instantly get an email sent to your inbox whenever someone sends something relevant for that.
So the biggest advancements that we bring to the table are 3 separate algorithms that rule out frivolous entries into this to ensure that we have the most accurate data. Next, we use multiple APIs to corroborate data from multiple government agencies to ensure that information is accurate. And next, the biggest investment we bring to the table is notifications based on events. So suppose you're planning to attend an event in the future, you know exactly what's going on.
Good evening, guys. My name is Safwa.
Yusuf, Hassel. What are the most common health problems in America?
So we start off by searching, like he said, what the most common health problems. Okay, the top one would be heart disease. Heart disease literally kills more people than all the cancers combined together. Second comes stroke, and then cancer, and then type 2 diabetes, obesity, and arthritis.
Each one of these health problems have a common way of getting to people, which is which through people's lack of exercise. So how do we solve these spreading issues? Here's a solution. Why not bike your way to a healthy life? Why bike though? Cycling is mainly an aerobic activity, which means that your heart, blood vessels, and lungs all get a workout.
All these things that she just mentioned are very beneficial because they're going to be helping solve many of the problems that I said like in the beginning of the PowerPoint. But in the end, there is a problem. Not many people will go out biking because for many reasons. Like for instance, like they don't have someone to go out with, or they don't have time, or they just like some people don't even have the money to go and buy a bike for hundreds of dollars and barely end up using it. So what these people are mainly having an issue with is motivation. So we created an innovation, an app where we help solve these problems. Okay, so we start off by, Okay, so you can, when you go and click on the app, you can see like you can go and sign up for it, and then you go and put in your information, like your user and password, and then when you log in, you're going to see that there are 3 events you can go into. For example, community event,
which is mainly you can go out with people and have time. There's a certain time you can go, and there's a certain place, and you guys can like social with those people, and have fun time with them. And we have rent a bike is mainly when you like somebody has a bike and you don't have the money to buy it, so you can go to him and rent that bike for a small amount of money. You both are getting benefits. One of you guys is having exercise, and the second one is getting money while
So basically, instead of putting your bike in a garage sitting there doing nothing, you could just let other people use it to get more money.
And then lastly, there's also buddy biking, where when you click on the event on the app, you can see that you can put in like your information, where you live, and the day that you're available and the time. So you can see someone else in your neighborhood or your community that has the same, like a near schedule as you, a similar one. So you guys can go out and bike together, and like one can keep each other motivated. And I'm gonna just come and show you guys the app real quick.
Thank you.
Now it is on. Hello, everyone. All right. So my name is Jason.
And my name is Yao.
My name is Aaron.
My name is Mimi. My name is Twinkle.
So actually, our invention is a two-part invention. It's like a set, and then the first part of the set is the pH pacifier. So a big problem with infants is that they aren't able to communicate with us when they're thirsty or dehydrated, and then this pH pacifier, it measures the pH of the infant's saliva to determine whether or not he or she is dehydrated. So how it works is there are two probes in here that detect the voltage difference between hydrogen ions in the saliva, and the higher concentration of hydrogen ions in the saliva, the more acidic the saliva is, and in turn means that the baby is more dehydrated. And then what this issue can solve is many parents are busy with jobs and taking care of the house, out shopping and whatnot, and they don't have all the time to constantly check if their baby is hydrated or not, and this just makes parents' lives easier.
All right. So our second device is called the thermal beanie, and what it monitors the temperature of the baby's head, and so if it has a fever, like if it goes above 101 degrees, it'll be brain damage. So it'll tell you if that happens. And so we found a study that 2.2 million babies die because of a combination of between fevers and dehydration. So we hoped that both of our devices would solve that.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Andrew Van Chow. This is my partner, Matthew Devon. We made the stress combatant shoe. It's a shoe to prevent athlete injury, especially with regards to the ankle and its connective tissue. So the main problem was in footwear. There's a multitude of different products that prevent lateral injuries for the ankle, such as rolling the ankle. However, there's not any product out that allows for prevention or reduction of hyperextension of the ankle or release of tension in the foot. And what I mean by that is that whenever you run, especially or jump or land, or especially if you're getting hit, there is extreme tension placed upon the foot and the surrounding connective tissue. And so what we did is we made a design to reduce tension for the impact as well as reduce strain overall.
So our special shoe, what it does, it prevents your foot from moving in certain directions to where it is dangerous for your ACL and its surrounding connective tissues. So the way it works is we have a plastic spine on the back of the shoe, and what that does, it prevents your foot from moving too much in either this direction or the other direction, and that is the danger zone for tearing your ACL, which about 15% of athletes will come into contact with that danger. And that will follow you through your life if you hurt your muscles to that extent. So the shoe, it can be designed in a modular way. So in order to fit a certain patient's needs, you can manufacture different kinds of the spine. And also we have a line running from that spine down through the sole up to the toes to prevent the toes from also going to a point to where it is dangerous to those special tendons.
The band, as well as the backbone of this shoe, can be specialized down to specific needs. So for those with extreme injury or with participating in events that may provide extra strain, it can be made wider or more dense in order to reduce movement, and that's essentially what it does. It reduces movement by a fraction of a degree in order to prevent hyperextension. And this hyperextension will both prevent the initial impact of damage, so one instance of hyperextension which will cause a ligament damage, or it will also reduce strain over time, which means the degradation of those ligaments or that connective tissue will be mitigated by a fraction.
Our invention is TFTB, and it's texting for the blind. Our problem is that approximately about 300,000 people worldwide become blind each year. And because of this, we built an app for blind people using a Braille keyboard. Okay, so how does this help? So the health of blind people, enabling them to ability to text, will give them the more community. They have the communication to talk to everyone else. So the blind people might not be able to speak or text all the time, like in public. So during a presentation, they might not be able to speak into a phone or call someone. So we've made a text messaging system for blind people using a Braille keyboard.
So TFTB has two parts, which is the sleeve and the app. The sleeve guides the user to the Braille keyboard so they know where the buttons are.
Okay, so how this works. So she already put her phone number in, and she already texted how was Inventathon. So using the Braille letters with this keyboard, I am going to type so fun. So this is S, this is O, this is F, this is U, and this is N.
So now she'll send it to my phone, and the notification has gone to my phone using the Braille keyboard. And this is the sleeve that will help guide the blind user of where the Braille dots are on the phone. So all you need to do is slide it on, and then it'll help the user.
Okay, so in the future, we want to make the sleeve silicone so it's easier to put on many devices. And we want to make it in different sizes for different devices. And then we want to add buttons instead of holes so the blind people can touch it and press it.
If we're able to incorporate this with messages on Apple, then this will be much more convenient for blind people, and they can communicate like everyone else can.
This will also help to expand the communication world for the blind.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Basil Jazar, and my project was for Parkinson's disease. You can go to the next slide. So, what is Parkinson's disease, you might ask? It's a disorder for the central nervous system that affects movement and often makes you tremor. Tremor is basically like when you shake. So people won't be able to move their hand accurately, and they'll have difficulty eating. So when you're eating, you're basically going to shake the spoon, and the food will fall off. Next slide. So my solution is to have a spoon that will stay stable while the hand users hand shake. So I took the spoon, and I took my inspiration from a gyroscope, and I added it between the hand and the head of the spoon. You can go. So this is my creation. So you see there's this gyroscope right here, and if you move it, the spoon will stay at the center. It's pretty cool. So you can eat, your hand is shaking, it won't move. You can go to the next slide. Okay. So what I've learned from this is that there are multiple uses for gyroscopes. Just you can use it for fun, you can use it for spoons, you can use it for cameras, stabilizers, and extra. And I've learned how to use 3D printers, and I learned how they work, and I learned how exactly Parkinson's disease work and affect the human body. That's it. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to ask every single one of you a question. Please don't laugh. When you use the restroom, do you look in the toilet and ask yourself, why is my urine this color? Please, I need a response. Come on. Well, good, because we thought about this, and we thought, what if we made an app that could tell you what the color of your urine meant? So we made that. And I'd like to pass it on to Ryan here to tell us about how the app works.
Okay, so basically, there's an option menu in the very front, like that. Basically, there's 3 options right now. There's urine test, a hearing test, and a vision test. For the urine test, it's going to give you a bunch of options like this. And when you click one of them, it'll tell you what that option means. And in the bottom, most of the time, it'll have a bolded out if whether or not you should see a doctor for that color. So definitely red and green ones, you'll need a doctor. These are mostly normal, but if it persists, then you probably might need to see a doctor. Okay, so for our hearing test, we have an audio that plays and a bunch of ranges of hertz under it that says whether or not you just see a doctor for your hearing. And then for our vision test, we have a color blindness test first to see if, because some people are colorblind to certain colors. And for another part of the vision test, we have that generic board of letters that you see all the time that has ranges of should you see a doctor and how good your vision is. And that's basically our app. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In the past 2 days at Inventathon, our days have been filled with creativity and innovation. So through these 2 days, we've created a product called the Aqua Wheel. Amoga will describe a little bit more about these solutions. My name is Fuyao Yu. This is Sanadia Desai. This is Amoga, Keshav, and we have Arjun over here. Primarily, we'd like to thank all the mentors and HCC staff for guiding us through this journey. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And we'd like to thank the HCC for letting us use their computers as well as their 3D applications.
So basically, in third world developing countries, we see that many people often do not have access to safe water sources, and the one study states that the woman or anyone in a household must travel an average of 6 kilometers per day, and a UNICEF study also shows that women and girls waste over 200 million hours per year collecting water for their families. And we saw that instead that would be a huge waste of time when women could contribute so much more to their families and society.
In addition, the water that they carry is very heavy. A family should drink about 5 gallons of water a day, and that weighs approximately 42 pounds. And they would have to carry it on their hands or maybe on their head or something like that. This takes a toll on bone development in a lot of people. In addition, the water that they carry is not treated and often contains unhealthy sediments or any bacteria. According to the UN, 1.7 million deaths a year are caused by unsafe water supplies. So what did we do about this? We present to you the Aqua Wheel. So the Aqua Wheel is a simple, cheap, and efficient way of improving health while making access to water easier at the same time. So we're able to eliminate strain and physical injuries as well as disease in one simple and effective design. So right here we have a 3D printed model of the Aqua Wheel. If Arjun could pass that around to the judges. So basically in our wheel, on the back side of our wheel right here, you can see that we have a hole at the top. Basically, there's a mesh right there to filter out sediments and other bigger materials. Once that is done, the water can be poured from the hole into the other side of the container. We've emptied it out so that you can see what's inside, but also, but in reality, we would have this closed so that the water can be stored inside. So over here, we would have a axle coated with a magnetic coating so that we can have an electromagnetic current, because there would be a coil spinning around right here in the inner wheel. And so it generates an electromagnetic current, and we can use that electricity to power a UV light, which treats the bacteria inside the water as the wheel spins. We'll demonstrate that in a minute. Also, because we have the filter, we're able to filter out these sediments. If you could bring that here. So basically how this works is the wheel, we can turn it like this, and the water is able to be transported very easily. You can see this mesh hole filter that we have right here, as well as the wires that we have on this side and the UV light. So this treats all of these problems, and it solves them so that we can prevent these deaths, and we can also have we can solve these problems.
So also the design of the wheel makes it a lot easier and a lot more effective and faster for whoever's trying to get the water back to their family to be able to get back to their family. And finally, we have designed this so that even when it's scaled up to, because our final design, when it's scaled up to its appropriate measurements, can hold up to 23 gallons of water. Its cost only comes down to about 3.29 USD after looking at mass production prices.
Thank you for your time, and we hope that you will support our product. Thank you.
I'm Varun, and I worked on circuitry.
I'm Raymond. I was the lead developer.
I'm Stuart. I worked on 3D design.
I'm Bill. I also worked on the circuitry.
I'm Dara. I did all the PR management and all the lovely things you see here.
Yeah, we've all been there. You want to exercise, but you lack the motivation. We have created a solution to that.
So basically, Okay, so this is a gadget, I guess you could say, that shocks you when you stop moving. It encourages you to keep exercising. You can set. Yeah, I got you. There you go. Okay, so you can adjust the settings on this. There's 3 different settings. You have the time of your workout, the intensity of the shock, and yeah. Okay. You can adjust the time of your workout, the intensity of the shock, and the sensitivity for when you want to be shocked. So if you want it to not shock you at a light jog, then you'd want a low sensitivity. Next. Okay, so yeah, the question came up about the marketability of such a project earlier, and I'd like to point out that there's actually a product kind of similar to this. You can actually buy it on Amazon. It was featured on Shark Tank 4 years ago. It's called Pavlok, but the problem with that is that it costs $200 on Amazon. The bill of materials for our prototype right here was $7. That's not including, the human resources and time that went into that. But bill of materials, $7. Some things we could actually improve on this were the filament we printed with. We assumed that they would have flexible filament here, which they do not. So it's a little uncomfortable to wear right now, but if it was printed with a flexible filament, it'd fit around your arm a lot easier. Yeah, and the one last thing for it is that to compact all the circuitry, we could actually use PCBs or printed circuit boards, and we would use surface mount components instead of through hole.
Until like 9 yesterday, showed up again, some of them at 8:30 in the morning, and then they probably worked even before just before the presentation, some of them were still working. So kudos to all of you for doing fantastic work. You guys are Houston's awesome, bright future. We're so glad to have you at HCC. So glad for this. So just give us a break so we can get our scores tallied up. We will be announcing top 5. Awards are there. We'll be giving them out. Our honorable judges will help us give the awards out. We'll take photos. And then this is based on scores. So all ideas were fantastic. And because they're on Ideator, we will make it available to all mentors in the city so that this idea doesn't stop here. You will have help move it forward, and we will definitely support you whether you choose HCC or not. We're a community college here to support fantastic students and education. Thank you. Just give us a break. We'll be back.
He's trying to take his photos. No, leave it because you're in the event. It's fine. We'll have the space because he's all the way back there.
What about the event?
I know. We'll get the trophies.
What about the event?
No, we need to see this in the photo.
You can put it on the bottom on the photo.
No, that's
Mask
okay.
it after.
That's okay.
You can't have any-
We'll have enough space.
Okay, let's get the award for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Yeah. Before we announce the results that have just been tabulated, we'd like to explain, who exactly is judging judging the event at Inventathon here.
Thank you. And also, before the judges, I want to, all of you, all the students that were here, a big round of applause for Roland for. When I say tirelessly, I mean it. Tirelessly. This guy, 7 a.m. till like 10 p.m. yesterday. He opened the building, he closed the building, and he has been nonstop working with each one of these students to get those designs, prototypes printed. On
last guy, 20 minutes before, said, okay, I've got a print ready. And I went, okay, you've got 13 hours.
Except for that one.
Sorry, guys.
But Roland is the lab manager at the Advanced Manufacturing, and without him, we could not have had this event. So thank you so much, Roland, for making yourself available and then mentoring all these fantastic inventors. Thank you so much. Judges, thank you for giving us your Saturday afternoon and evening. Thank you for helping us grade this. Our judges, we have Michelle Price with Startup Grind for Houston, backed by Google, and Picture Kid, which is an event that's coming up. So thank you so much, Michelle. And Karthik Rajan wears many hats, but the one he's wearing today is with GoodWorks Houston. Thank you for coming out. He's one of Houston's most influential LinkedIn bloggers. So if you want to fix up your LinkedIn or your resume, he's the guy to meet about LinkedIn. Then we have Kimberly Penn, a dear friend of mine, a partner in crime for getting our youth educated, and she represents Web Tropolis. I always have issues with that. But thank you so much, Kimberly. Maya Donovo, my mentor, my supervisor, and literally my supervisor at HCC, the Chief Entrepreneurial Officer of Houston Community College, so CEO, as I like to call her, of HCC. Initiatives Officer, just so we don't upset anybody else. And then Andrew Lynch, with many hats that he wears, but the one he's wearing today is with Innovation Spark. They put together the Houston Maker Fair, which had a record turnout, and then it was the fourth largest, I understand, in the nation. So Andrew, thank you so much, and he does fantastic work with robotics. So thank you, judges, for being out here. We really, really appreciate your time and your expertise.
So, actually, when Arslan, Ashwin, and I, who founded Inventor Space, which runs this event, Inventathon, and future events, were in high school, we actually started a robotics team, and Andrew was also a great mentor for us, who helped us get up and running when we knew absolutely nothing. So, with that in mind, let's talk about you guys, who probably went from a little bit more than absolutely nothing to a pretty dang good product in 2 days. So, for fourth place, drumroll please, we have Health Project for Parkinson's Disease.
It is helpful. Yep, with the score of 441 out of 600. Congratulations. So we'll just do a quick photo. If we could see, we need to turn off the projector.
Just come over.
Come over, but that's a weird shot, right? The website is really taking the lead. All right. It's over, dude. Event's over. Hey.
Okay.
Yes?
Go for it.
Okay. And then just stay here, yeah? Are we good? For number 3, with the score of 486 out of 600. Aero Map. Team Aero Map. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Come over to this side.
Don't come out here.
Just come by. Sorry.
We're gonna have I'm telling you, that projector's gotta go.
No, it's okay. Guys, come over to the side, please.
And then, what about a photo with?
Slide over.
Okay. Well, that guy go there and we'll do
No
it.
idea. So yeah, move over. Okay. Camera's
Thanks.
back there.
Can we
Sorry,
turn off
got
the
it.
projector? It's not gonna work.
All right.
All right, kill the projector, please. All right, now we can all. So this was totally planned, and we have all of this organized as intended. So, all right. So wait, this is your turn.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so for place number 2 with 544 points out of 600, drum roll, TFTB.
We need the
And then you get Mr. Hart.
You do Aqua Wheel. Or actually,
Just do Hart, and then we'll do the first.
that makes sense.
If you want to sit on that, no, let's do it there because the camera.
Yeah.
We'll give you a shot. We'll give you an opportunity for a grand shot.
All right.
First.
So,
Mohammed.
Oh, watch. You're on the. Yeah.
Mohammed.
So with 2 awards to go, I'd like to invite Arslan up here. And yes, I said 2 awards to go.
2 awards. Secret award being given out.
So you have your spiel, right?
Yeah. Please. Yes.
So for a little bit of history here, I would say that none of what you see here is all possible because of one person among our presence. Without him, none of this would have happened, and we wouldn't be here holding this fantastic event. In honor of him, we present the Hart Award. The award that both signifies what we feel makes Mr. Hart special. His technical prowess.
So, what this award means, well, I mean, it's a heart, and today was health. But Mr. Hart's award, which will be given every Inventathon from now on, is is supposed to recognize basically the people who came up with the most complete product, people who put in the most effort, learned a lot throughout the Inventathon. So, with that said.
Before you give it out, I want to tell the judges who Mr. Hart is.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
So not only for the judges, but for everybody else, Mr. Hart is the physics teacher that has made all of them be here by giving them extra credit, but also forcing them to be here. So he's teacher that represents about 50% of the students in the audience today and yesterday. So that's why we're honoring him, and he will give out this award.
Yeah. So the award that this goes out to is Run or Stun.
It goes to anybody. So All right, and then number one.
Just we'll wait until they're done.
Okay. And then he will offer it to you, and then camera photos for you guys.
we need a stage.
See, I'm glad we turned off the projector, right? All right, guys.
All right, slide over to the side.
Keep moving. All right, yeah, go.
Okay.
I can't read it. You have to read it.
All right. The biggest drum roll ever. 566 points out of 600. Practically taking all of the points for this Inventathon. The winner of this fall 2017 is Aqua Wheel. We'll take a few minutes for pictures. If you don't get a picture, it's okay. We'll be on YouTube in high definition quality. So just take a snapshot from there.
And live streamed on Inventor Space XYZ's Facebook page.
Check us out.
You want to end it and conclude it?
Yeah.
And you have it next year or no? Yeah. You do have it next year?
Parents here. Thank you.
I do have instructions for not to go.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone, please stick around. We have a couple more things before we fully close. And
A ton of instructions for the parents. So
okay,
don't let
yeah, and parents of people who won, we have a lot of instructions for you in terms of how you get your cash prizes. So, yeah.
And in case you're wondering, we did not disclose the prizes early on, but first place will be $500. Second place would be $400, $300 for the third, $200 for the fourth one, and then Mr. Hart's would be $100 for the team. So we do have paperwork. We do have paperwork for the parents as well as the students, so please don't leave without filling this out. Without this, we cannot get the checks mailed out to you guys. So don't leave. And Nikhil will conclude this Inventathon. Dr. Rono, do you want to add anything?
Let's all thank Robbie for the wonderful job that he did pulling it all together. Without Robbie, this would not have happened. So thank you for all you do. You did a great job.
Thank you.
And we from Inventors. We from Inventor Space XYZ want to make sure that you guys have the best. Thanks. We from Inventor Space XYZ want to make sure you guys have the best chances possible to, so a lot of these groups had great ideas to commercialize their inventions. A lot of these groups had awesome inventions that just need a little bit of mentorship. At Inventor Space XYZ, we have a program called the Invent Accelerator, where we connect students with entrepreneurs like our speaker Ashok Rao and people who can help them throughout the summer actually turn that invention prototype into a commercial product and start selling it. So if you guys think that your invention is a really cool idea and that you need some help, maybe you need some technical help to actually turn it into a digital product, or you need some business plan help, just email us at next@inventorspace.xyz. That's next@inventorspace.xyz. Next@inventorspace.xyz. That's an email. And we'll put it on our website soon. And on Facebook, yeah.
Have some house cleaning rules, and
Yeah.
then we'll close it out.
Yeah. And so we have some house cleaning rules. There's very little, So any trash that you guys have here or any trash in other rooms, everyone, any trash that you have here or in other rooms, please pick it up. And then we have our trash bags. We have all our trash bags. Please put them over in that side. Ravi will coordinate, I guess.
Yeah. So all the officers that are here, please walk around the building. Make sure that we're not leaving any trash in this building. And collect all the trash. Make sure no one's leaving their sweaters, laptops, chargers behind. We do have to clean this building before we leave for officers, volunteers, anybody. And then we will leave this building by 9:30 at most. So plan accordingly, and please help keep this building clean. Put the chairs back in the classrooms.